Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. A change of tack this time. Why, you might ask? Well, it's like this. The estate building was well underway, but I was waiting for some material. And as always, it doesn't arrive when it should, so what should I do? Well, there'd been a problem with aligning the entrance of the estate, so I decided that I'd fix that. But this led to me having to do something different. So let's get started on the no name railway. And I still don't know what it's going to be. So here's the problem. Having straightened up the entrance as the cut didn't work, I introduced a new piece that was a lot neater. But yes, there, you saw my fingers catch. It wasn't quite low enough. So I introduced a piece of wood glued so that it held the board down. And this, in turn, made that the entrance was aligned. But how to hide it? Well, every estate has a gatehouse, so I made a couple of mock-ups to see which I preferred. Very simple, out of card. And the clear winner was this one. Laying it flat, this allowed me to take the measurements, and I quickly created a quick build sequence. Well, A first, B, C, you get the way. And by making each section of the parts first, allowed me to build each piece. Here you can see the bay window, all in bits. Now assembled and finally applied to the front wall. Front wall is now completed, and you get the gist. Each piece was made, and then the three main parts were assembled. Coming along nicely, we thought, yes, we better just see how it looks in position. Happy with this. It hides the piece of wood quite neatly. We can then move on to assembling the rest. The internal bits, part of the chimney, window frames. But as you can see here, it's quite a stretch. So why not a module on top of a module? So here I glue this to a small piece of plastic card. This now creates its own module in its own right. Once it's all assembled like this, I can spray paint it. Undercoat first. The wall. Yes, it's not going to be how I want it. Let's rip it out and put it on the module. Painting. Base undercoats put on, and then individual stones picked out in different colours. It looks quite harsh on the wall, but the building has been toned down with a couple of washes. So we'll do this on the wall. The next thing is the roof. Individual pieces of plastic card were applied, glued in position. You might think this is a bit fancy for a gatehouse, but they were a statement of affluence. So yes, we made it look fancy. Here you can see that the wall that I fitted to the module doesn't align up with this wall, so I'll have to cut it here. and then yes, take that wall out. So here you can see me making a new piece of wall. It's quite a tight bend, and plastic doesn't always bend, so I made a jig so that I could force it into the right position. Here's the wall fully assembled and now being tried in place. The gates are obviously taped together so that they give me a guide. If I push it hard up against the main board, it will disguise the edge. A piece of plastic dropped in to fill the gap there. We'll fill that with flowers, and we'll have to put the road wall back in. Yes, we'll make the road wall come along here so that it hides this. We'll take a bit of that away. We'll put something through here. It's all a bit up in the air, but yeah, you can see the wall in. Capping stones still need to go on, and we're thinking about putting some form of edge in here for the flower bed that will be there. There's still a bit of a gap you can notice there, so we'll put a bit more plastic card over that, fill it in, and we'll put a pillar at the end just to finish it off. So, what's next, you say? Well, the wall's in. I'm happy-ish. Our modeller's ever happy. We'll start with laying all the tiles on the roofing. Bit by bit. It's quite therapeutic, actually. Going up. These are from York Model Making. They're self-adhesive. I let them well overlap the edge, and I'll trim that back afterwards. You can see the back of the building and how much overlap there is. I find it easier this way, and here it is all trimmed back, nice and neat. So next, well, one side done. As you can see, the bay window's been done. This side to do. This is the longest side, but it doesn't take long. An occasional line on to make sure that they're running parallel to the ridge. Now, final pillar in position, and the spear fencing and the chimney pots. These were all the last things to do. Things that can easily get knocked off. The barrash boards on, and the gutterings, downspouts, all painted, and yes, nice bushes and flower beds. Well, it is supposed to be a statement of affluence, and if this ground that you drive into doesn't look good, the owners won't be happy. So here you can see gates in temporarily. Yeah, building in position. There's a few gaps that I'll need to sort out. So that's about the gatehouse all finished. It's still only temporary in position. There's a bit of work still to do. Paint the flushing. But what's next? Well, the estate actual house, the materials arrived, and I can begin. So the next one will be the build of that. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, it's free, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye.